Hey, what's up guys and gals? My name is Rick9G. Thank you so much for joining me today. We're going to be talking about The Lucy Show as well as Gilligan's Island. I really love to make videos like this because usually I focus on one TV show per video, but today I'm going to be focusing on two, and I absolutely love doing that. It's not as easy, but it's really cool to see things come together, and I think that we have a little bit of a gem here. We have two episodes that I want to talk about, but before we get into that, I want to thank you all for supporting me, continuing the show. So much love. It really does make a difference. And don't forget to hit the subscribe and like button if you do enjoy this video. Now, the Lucy Show episode I'm talking about is from season 5. It's called Lucy and the Monkey. Now, in this episode, we have Mary Jane, who's Lucy's friend, who notices that she's working so hard. She's putting a lot of hours into the office. That is working for Mr. Mooney, and it could give her hallucinations. Well, that's what Mary Jane thinks. She actually convinces Lucy that this is possible. Now later, when a real monkey appears and apparently disappears throughout the course of the episode in Mr. Mooney's chair and another location, Lucy begins to think that she's losing her mind, and she even has to go to a psychiatrist. It's a pretty funny episode, but the monkey in this episode was the one that really drew me for a loop. Now, if you think about it, it's actually probably not a monkey. I'm not a primate expert. I believe it's an ape because it doesn't have a tail, but I digress. I'd be happy to know, and clarifications are appreciated in the comments below. So the monkey itself is so realistic. I'm going to call it the monkey for now because that's the name of the episode, so just simplify things. The monkey itself was very believable, and I thought to myself, I've seen this before. I've seen this costume. I've seen this individual. By the way, there is a human in there. It's actually very hard to tell. Yes, if you look now in HD, it's a little bit easier to tell that the seams aren't right and so forth. But remember, this is the 1960s, but looking back at it at that time, it would have looked pretty good. Now, the realistic movements are what really sells this character, and that's provided by the individual who's in the suit. Now, before we get into reveal who the individual is, because I know all of you want to know, we have to talk about the Gilligan's Island episode, Beauty Is as Beauty Does. This is from season 2 of Gilligan's Island. It's basically the beauty contest, or the bathing beauty contest from that show. Now, in this episode, we have the men all divided over who is the most beautiful on the island. Of course, we have Mr. Howe backing up his wife, Mrs. Howe. We have the skipper backing up Ginger, as well as Professor backing up Marianne. So that leaves the odd one out, Gilligan. He is the deciding vote to say who is the most beautiful on the island. Unfortunately, or fortunately, however you see it, there is another female on the island. Her name is Gladys. Gladys the ape, Gladys the monkey, and interestingly enough, if you compare, this is the exact same costume. So if you think about it, in the realm of the story, it could actually be the same character, even though on the Lucy Show, the monkey was a male, and on Gilligan's Island, it was a female. Maybe that was the mate or so forth. We could get into theories in another episode. But the point of this video is more tying these two episodes from two different shows that we all know and love, that I watch myself, and just connecting them to the individual who is inside. Now, if you've ever seen I Got a Secret, and you see the March 8th, 1961 episode, Coco the chimp makes an appearance. Yep, same costume, same individual. Now, this individual inside actually was using or donning different costumes to make him appear to be different apes, different monkeys, and so forth. He did a lot of work from the original Star Trek series, Perry Mason, and New Williams, The Outer Limits, as I mentioned, Gilligan's Island, The Lucy Show, and so much more. He is a United States-based Hungarian actor. He was also a stunt performer, and this was his job. This is what he usually did. He either played monsters or specifically monkey animals of the sort. And it was really interesting to see his movements. Even though you knew there was a guy in there, it was just so realistic, and it was so well done. I mean, this was his art. This is what he did, and he did it so well. The reason they use an actor, of course, is because of safety and so forth, not even using an animal on set. It just makes everything so much easier. Of course, it's easier to follow the script and so forth. The The man's name is Janos Prohaska. And again, as I mentioned, this is all he did. This was basically his work. He would get called in, the guy in the monkey suit. It's really cool to see. I thought a lot of you would be interested. Maybe in the future I'll make a video listing a lot of his other credits in many different shows, so we could take a look at all the characters that he played. I think that would be pretty cool. If you do want to see that, let me know. Acknowledge in the comments below, leaving a thumbs up, and of course subscribing. We'll see you next time, guys and gals. Thank you so much for the continued support, and most importantly, be hopeful. Thank you so much to all my supporters on Patreon, especially my diamond tier patrons: Tommy G, Citizen Kane 359, Grace U, Sally N, David D, and Ricky. You can find exclusive content on Patreon at different tiers. Go ahead and check it out, and thank you so much.